The value that you can get in the budget true wireless market is really impressive nowadays, and one of the leaders with that are SoundPEATS. So today we're going to see how a $49 noise cancelling earbud goes up against one of the best noise cancelling earbuds there are out there, the AirPods Pro at $249. But you can probably get them cheaper than that, but still overall the Air 3 Pro come in at about a quarter of the price. So starting with build quality, obviously the AirPods Pro have a nicer feel with their glossy plastics, but the Air 3 Pro still don't feel terrible. It's just basic smooth hard plastics, but when comparing the two, the 3 Pro do feel a little bit cheaper. But are they 1/4 cheaper? Definitely not. The more noticeable difference is with the ear tips. Apple's proprietary tips are still the best when it comes to comfort, since you don't really get anything digging into your ear canal. It's just the ear tip itself. There's no driver digging in there, which is the case with the Air 3 Pro, but still they kind of mimic the same ergonomics and feel that the AirPods Pro have. So overall comfort comes very close, but it still feels like there's just more in your ear canal with the Air 3 Pro. But since that fit is a little bit deeper, this does mean the security of the fit, at least for my ears, is much better than the AirPods Pro. So I feel comfortable wearing the Air 3 Pro in my weight training session. With running, I barely had to readjust the earbuds. Even though these are just a stem design, the fit on them is some of the best I've ever tested in any SoundPEATS earbud. With the AirPods Pro, they're staying okay, but I personally wouldn't use them when training, when clenching my jaw, even if I'm talking to people or eating some food. The AirPods Pro start to slightly budge out of my ears, but with the Air 3 Pro, no issues at all. If you like using your buds when training though, both have an IPX rating, so fine for sweat, splashes of water, using the rain. You can't submerge either bud in water though. Now when it comes to battery life, AirPods Pro just get the overall win. With the earbuds themselves, in my test at 70% volume, tested on an iPhone XS, noise cancelling on, you can see the results I got are very close there. But you do get more total battery life from the AirPods Pro. Now when it comes to case size, the Air 3 Pro is slightly thicker, but they come incredibly close there. And you do get a smooth matte finish on there, which feels quite nice compared to the glossy plastics on the AirPods, but the actual sturdiness of the case does feel better on the AirPods Pro. The hinge feels a bit nicer, but again, Air 3 Pro still feels solid for the price. But where the AirPods start to shoot ahead a bit is that they've got wireless charging, they've got fast charge with the earbuds, so 5 minutes in the case will give you an hour's playback on the earbuds, and the buds are much easier to take in and out since the ear tips angle in, where on the Air 3 Pro they angle out. You do get used to it, but the AirPods win there as well. Now with controls, this is basically touch controls versus force touch. I personally love force touch because this means you can just kind of handle the earbuds without accidentally activating your touch controls. The sensitivity on all SoundPEATS earbuds are great, and that's the same with the Air 3 Pro here. And you do have the benefit of having volume control with a single tap on the right or left earbud to increase or decrease your volume, which sadly you can't get on the AirPods. You can of course increase or decrease volume with the always on Siri, but I do like having the option just to do it on my earbuds. Now when it comes to connectivity, you get the newer Bluetooth 5.2 on the Air 3 Pro, just Bluetooth 5.0 on the AirPods Pro, but still, like, the connectivity with AirPods Pro and Apple devices is quite seamless. But you do have the advantage on the Air 3 Pro of aptX and aptX Adaptive, which gives you slightly higher quality streaming and better battery efficiency. So when it comes to latency, as long as you're using AirPods Pro on an Apple device, which I assume you would be, you get great low latency with videos as well as gaming. Here are the detailed results I got in my latency test. You can still see the Air 3 Pro have a low latency mode you have to turn on, and that brings the latency down quite a bit, but it is going to be a little bit lower on Android devices. But the AirPods do have the benefit of seamlessly switching if you're using them with Apple devices. So I use mine on my MacBook Pro and my iPhone, and you don't have to worry about kind of disconnecting from one device before you connect to a new device, which you have to do on the Air 3 Pro. But now let's see how the microphone quality compares when you're on a phone call. All right, so here's a microphone test with the SoundPEATS Air 3 Pro, and I'm in a nice quiet room here at the moment. All right, so here's a microphone test with the AirPods Pro, and I'm in a nice quiet room here at the moment. All right, so here we are in the outside world with the SoundPEATS Air 3 Pro, and I'm on a nice busy motorway here right now. All right, so here we are in the outside world with the AirPods Pro, and I'm just on a nice busy motorway here right now. All right, before we talk about noise cancelling, quick little drop on my Instagram here. If you want to stay updated with behind the scenes action of me and my audio ventures, link is down below. All right, on the noise cancelling. And quickly how I test my noise cancelling, I just chuck on simulation train, plane, and crowd noise, as well as just some basic music on my soundbar, which has a sub, so I get nice high frequencies and nice low frequencies. And here's my overall noise cancelling ranking with all the true wireless earbuds that I have tested. You can see the AirPods Pro in quite a high spot there, but overall comparing the two, the AirPods Pro, again, clearly better, but only about 20% better. So the Air 3 Pro, they do come pretty close. The most noticeable difference though is with both EQ shift and wind noise, which is generally a bit of an issue with budget noise cancelling earbuds. So we'll start with EQ shift here. That's how your sound quality changes with noise cancelling on compared to noise cancelling off. So with the AirPods Pro, there's basically no difference. If anything, they sound slightly better with transparency mode on and with noise cancelling on. Where with the Air 3 Pro, when you turn noise cancelling on and your transparency mode on, your sound quality kind of reduces by about 10%. You lose a bit of bass and a bit of detail with the mids and the treble. But for budget standards, 10% is generally as good as it gets. So not too bad there. The more noticeable difference though is when you have transparency mode on and noise cancelling on. On the AirPods Pro, when you're walking outside on a windy day, you don't really hear too much wind coming in through the microphones. They would have an algorithm kind of going on in the background to prevent this. With the Air 3 Pro, it picks up that wind noise really easily, and it can get quite annoying even on not that windy of a day. So something to keep in mind there. But now talking about the transparency mode, this is where the AirPods Pro really start to step ahead again. They easily still have the best transparency mode to the point where you can chuck them in. You don't really know if you're wearing earbuds or not. But the Air 3 Pro doesn't have the best transparency mode out there. Other SoundPEATS earbuds like the SoundPEATS T2 have a transparency mode that comes closer to the AirPods Pro. If I'd rate the AirPods Pro a 10 out of 10, I'd rate the SoundPEATS T2 about an 8 out of 10, where the Air 3 Pro here is about a 6 out of 10. So okay for general awareness, but hearing voices, actually talking to someone, it's just not the best, sadly. But moving on to how the buds sound, starting with volume, if you're looking for the louder pair, the AirPods Pro at max volume have about 2 extra clicks of volume. So both go ridiculously loud. Even the Air 3 Pro at max volume, that's way too loud. But if you're looking for low level listening and you want to go down to like the first few clicks of volume, the AirPods Pro go nice and quiet, where the Air 3 Pro is still kind of loud at that lowest volume. This is generally another thing you see with more premium earbuds. They give you better control of your volume from 0% to 100%. But now onto the sound quality itself. And this is where the Air 3 Pro really starts to catch up, because when I chuck those buds in my ear for the first time, SoundPEATS normally has quite a bass heavy tuning, but with the Air 3 Pro, they kind of went for a little bit more balance here. And my first impression was these kind of sound very similar to the AirPods Pro, but just not as good. And that's kind of what you're getting. The AirPods Pro, they basically sound about 15-20% better overall. You get a similar amount of bass, slightly more deep rumble, a bit more of that subwoofer feel on the Air 3 Pro, but the mid-range and treble kind of tuned similarly to the AirPods Pro, but you do like a bit of detail with the vocals and definition and resolution in the treble. So going back and forth between the two, it's easy to tell the AirPods Pro are better. Again, a quarter of the price though, and you're getting only about 15-20% lower sound quality. So I was pretty impressed to see that from SoundPEATS there. Now, normally to explain the sound further, I run through my genre rating and let you know which bud I think works best with each individual genre, but you can kind of tell the AirPods Pro are easily going to get the win there for every genre. All right, so that pretty much covers everything, and you can kind of see the theme here. You're getting basically 20% better quality when it comes to build quality, your comfort, your noise canceling. Transparency is like twice as good though, so keep that in mind. And they separate themselves even more with the extra features, the wireless charging, the fast charging, always on Siri, which I personally love using, and the seamless switching between Apple devices. Plus a couple extras I didn't mention, like spatial audio, as well as audio sharing with other people that have AirPods and AirPods Pro. So that is a lot of extras, which definitely makes the AirPods Pro 100% worth it, especially when used with Apple devices. But I got to give it to SoundPEATS. At the price these buds are coming at, these are also 100% worth it. And SoundPEATS is still one of the best budget brands when it comes to pure value for money. So that wraps it up for today. If you like this video, you probably like my AirPods 3 versus Air 3 comparison. So check that out. In the meantime, stay picky. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.